Hey, what's up, guys? It is Monday, July 17th, 2023. It's the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I am your host, as always, Adam Martin. I'll be joined momentarily by Big Marcel. He's just, he got a new camera, I believe, so he's just fixing it right now. So he should be here in a few minutes, I would assume. Just wanted to start the podcast, though, because I did say it was going to start at 5. Back to the regular scheduled time, right, guys? Because this whole summer, we've been kind of doing it like different times. Just has worked out that way, but tonight, back to the Monday evening show. Get some comments here. We got Glenn here in the chat. What's going on, man? You're here every week, Glenn, regardless of what time we do it. So we always appreciate you, my friend. Joe, hey, what's up, man? Well, that's what I'm hearing right now. I'm literally just reading it right now. So there's I wouldn't even say it's a rumor. There's a report, I guess, on Twitter that Costa's out of the Ikram fight and that Roman Dolidze will be replacing him. So again, it's not official by any means, but the guy who reported it is closely connected to Ikram's camp. So that's kind of interesting. Hey, John, what's up, man? He says, Michael Venom Page is on the UFC's website listed as non-roster. Can you put the link in the chat? I do know that MVP was on Ariel's show today, which I don't watch, but I do know that I saw the reports, obviously, that he's going to be at UFC London this weekend, and he's a free agent, apparently. Listen, I've been, you guys, anyways, listened to my podcast for, the last 10 years, especially at the last 5, I would say. You guys know I think MVP is an overrated fighter, right? And I do think that. I won't go against that, right? But at the same time, I mean, he does have the potential to put on exciting fights. And I think in the UFC, you're not going to call him a contender. Marcel, what's up? You there?
Yeah, I'm here, but what the fuck, dude?
You just look like a poster.
Yeah, I don't know what's up, man.
I don't know, man. Just go back to your old camera or something. Just do this later, bro. Can you do that or no? You want to stick like that, it's fine, but there you go. Just do that for now. Fix it later.
Such an idiot, dude. I had the cap still on.
Yeah, I'd say that. Can you give me 1 second? Let me try to get you back in here. You there? Marcel, you're frozen on me. All right, he's gonna jump back in. He had the camera, the cap on the lens. That's why it wasn't working, apparently. Anyways, John, do you have the link? I don't see it. If you want to throw it in the chat, I'll take a look. But I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Bring him in. He is coming off the loss to Perry. Is that his last fight? Was that his last fight? Oh, he beat Goiti Yamauchi by a brutal leg kick. That's right, earlier this year. So he is coming off of win. He's only lost twice in MMA. One was a pretty close decision to Storley. The other, obviously, the knockout loss to Lima. I mean, listen, he's a good fighter, right? He's good. But I don't think he's a champion. The thing is, though, UFC won't promote him as a future champion. They won't do what Bellator was doing with MVP if they bring him in. In Bellator, quite frankly, if you look at his record, a lot of the fights weren't even at welterweight. They're all catchweight fights against a lot of lower level fighters. He did beat a couple of good guys, he beat Douglas Lima the one time, and the rematch he beat Paul Daly. So he has a couple of good wins, but always thought he's overrated. That being said, I still think there's guys on the roster who beats guys. There are some guys at the bottom end of welterweight that Michael Page will beat right now. There's definitely some guys in the division. I'm just going to take a look right now, but I guarantee you there's a few guys, especially in the bottom to mid end of the division. Again, I don't think right now, Jack Della Maddalena, I guess is number 14 or 15, Michelle Pereira, those kind of guys. I mean, it's possible he could beat them because they are strikers too, but probably not. But if you look at his resume, I think he beats a guy like a Blood Diamond, right? For sure. Andre Fialho, he knocks him out most likely too. So there's guys he could beat. There are guys, not a lot, but there's a few. Yeah, a couple other comments here. I did. If you don't see, I don't see anything, John. You can send me a DM. I'll take a look. I think you follow me on Twitter, right? Costa's a pull-up merchant. Sure is. He sure is. I don't know. He's ranked 5 or something, right? I see your text, John. I'm just going to take a look right now. Yeah, he is listed on the UFC website. That's really interesting. Not fighting, though, like you said. But it's interesting they have him listed. That is really interesting. So, yeah. MVP's on the UFC website listed as non-roster, but that is intriguing. Yeah, Marcel, can't see you again, man.
I don't understand this,
bro. Figure the camera thing out. We gotta get going. Just do the camera next week. Don't worry about it. Use your old camera for now. It's okay. All right. It's gonna bang us, dude. I mean, I liked Ikram there a lot. Ikram, allegedly, that the report is he's gonna fight Roman Dolidze next. I almost feel like that's a harder fight, personally. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like Dolidze is a little bit of a harder fight than Costa at this point. Costa doesn't even fight anymore. The guy, he's one of those guys that has Twitter fingers, I call them, right? Twitter thumbs. He's always on Twitter talking shit, but he doesn't fight. He fought Has Costa fought like once in the last 2 years? Was against Rocco. That's it. Pulls out of a lot of fights. The fight with Vettori didn't show up to weight that fight. So the guy is not in the UFC's good books. I don't understand. Where does he make money? How do these guys make money if they don't fight? Like, if that's their job, where are they making money? I don't get it. I wish I could just not show up to work for 2 years, guys. I mean, I like my job and everything, but like, it'd be nice, right? Just to take 2 years off and chill and still, have a good life. I know he's a popular guy. He's obviously like a good looking dude. I'm sure he's got some, sponsorships and endorsements, but still, it's kind of weird he doesn't fight that often. Anto, what's up, man? What's up, Adam? Got to work at WWE event. Want to slide by? Dude, appreciate that, man. And go check out him and Paul Torkington's podcast, PA Podcast. You guys are doing a good job with that. Need to put a pressure fighter against MVP to bring out the excitement factor. True. There he is. There's Marcel. Hey, Marcel. How's it going?
Right now?
You're pissed.
Yeah, man. What the hell, dude? It didn't make sense.
It's okay. We'll do it later. Next week, you'll have a nice, beautiful camera. We'll see your beautiful face. And
dude, I used it. I used it earlier this morning, so I don't know.
On StreamYard, or was it a different platform?
Was Zoom.
Okay, maybe it's different. I don't know. I really don't know. But either way, we got you here. We got Big Marcel here. I'm here. I'm back home, guys. Back from Vegas. A couple other comments here. Craig, what's up, man? How's it going? Glad to have you in the chat, my friend. Costa should take the Whitaker fight. I agree. I mean, Marcus, he doesn't fight at all. What's Costa's salary bump? Probably lying about it. Did you read about this, Marcel?
No.
Okay. It's been reported Costa's out, and it's
reported it?
Judo better or something.
Yeah, that dude is not legit, man.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. I said allegedly. I've been saying it the whole podcast. We don't know for sure yet, right?
I wouldn't believe him at all.
Well, Spinning Backfish retweeted it. That's why everyone's talking about it now. They have a huge following, as you know, right? So. Yeah, this guy's saying Costa posted workout footage. Okay, anyways, we'll see what happens here, guys. Like, if he does fight, I apologize for like saying he doesn't fight, but it doesn't seem like he does.
Well, he doesn't.
What happens? He doesn't fight. That's what I'm saying. Fought Rocco last year. Did he fight the year before? He fought Vettori, right? But at 205. Why is he ranked at 185? Does he have any wins over UFC guys? I don't think he does, right?
No, I don't think so.
He has 0 wins against any UFC fighter right now. Listen, we know he's a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. And I think he's ranked like 5 or 6, maybe. Like, it doesn't really make sense when you think about it. He's ranked 7th.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. He doesn't fight that often. Anyways, I think we should just get into it, Marcel. How you doing, man? Otherwise.
Oh yeah, I'm doing well, dude. I mean, pretty heavy weekend, So,
yeah,
it's not easy to carry that big cock the whole damn time. So, no, I'm just kidding. No, I had a good weekend, no problem. Watching some fights. Yeah, pretty okay weekend. How about you?
I mean, it was okay. I'm back home now. Vegas was great. Had a great time. Got to meet a ton of good, cool people, man. Awesome time, man. I got to hang out with Nick a few times, which was awesome. Checked out Circa where he used to work. What else did I do? Met Alex at the fights. Marcus I met. Johnny, like all these guys we went for dinner. Aaron, James. I think I talked about that last time, but it was awesome. Just a great weekend, man. Like I said, Marcel, we're gonna have to get you a ticket and you're gonna come out next year. It's just a really good time, man. It was a lot of fun. Met, like I said, great people. People I've been talking to for years. A lot of people I obviously have met before, but guys like Marcus who I haven't met before, and then got to hang out with those guys in person. Like, it was fucking awesome. So yeah, had a great time, man. And we're back. We're back, baby. Back to do the UFC Vegas 77 recap, Marcel. So I say we get into it, Marcel. We're gonna get through this recap, guys, and then we'll do another podcast right after to do the preview for UFC London. Which, I mean, I went through all the fights last night, 15 fights. I think the London card's pretty good. I think it's really good, personally. So I'd say we get into this one, Marcel. Oh yeah, I just want to get this comment. Marcus, it was good to meet you, man. And you had a big week, obviously, but yeah, it was awesome. We had a great dinner, Marcel. We had all these guys out there. It was all these, like, me, James, Aaron, Johnny, Nick, a few other people. It was just great. Like, there was a lot of guys. And then, of course, Marcel, like, I don't know if I was telling you guys. I think I told you guys this, right? Like, I was talking to Aaron, and I'm like, man, the judges are fucking shit in this sport. And then fucking Michael Bell and Mark Goddard were at the table next to us. I think we know this. Aaron's like, dude, Michael Bell's right there. I'm like, well, Michael Bell's one of the good ones. I said, because he is, like, really good.
Yeah.
He's one of the best judges, right? But and then Goddard, who I think we've talked, Goddard's pretty good ref. But that Colby fight, I was there for that first one with Usman, and that stoppage was not good. Either way, it wouldn't have changed the fight. Anyways, let's get into the recap, guys. So we're going to recap UFC Vegas 77, which, you know what? I think a lot of people talk shit about this card. the prelims were bad. Let's be honest, they were pretty bad. But the main card was good, really good. I think there were some really good fights. Let's start into it, Marcel. So overall, I mean, I had a really good night. I made some good money on this card, guys. I did really well. Like I lost on Holm, but I hit on Elder Park. Park was a steal. I got him at minus 140. That was an amazing bet. He dominated that fight. But let's get into it, Marcel. Oh, I got Sadik. I went and picked Sadikov too. That first round was a fucking sweat, but he ended up getting the win, so that was nice. Let's start with main event, Marcel. We had Holly Holm getting submitted by Mayra Bueno Silva. Second round, ninja choke. I don't. UFC stats says guillotine choke. It's a ninja choke. It's her choke, and it was the same one she landed on Contender Series. So I've seen that fight. It was a few years ago, obviously. Mm-hmm. You know what, man? Like the age should have kind of like scared me off more with Holm being 41, but I just thought she had been fighting at a high level. You know, she looked good, and I thought she beat Vieira. So I'm like, all right, you know, her only loss in 5 years is against Maddalena. There's no shame in that, but clearly a bit of on decline, right? And Mayra Bueno Silva comes in there and gets the job done. Marcel gets the submission and really announces herself as a legitimate contender. I mean, she has looked outstanding at 135, right? 4-0 in the weight class. Looked just like I said, outstanding. Her striking's gotten better. Her submissions are some of the best in the division. Tough as nails. And you know what, Marcel? I like her personality too. I think she's fucking hilarious. I think she's got a great personality. I don't know. Did you watch the post-fight presser? Did you watch it?
Yeah. Also the pre-fight.
Fucking hilarious, right? And when she talks about, she's like, no one's going to watch Julian Pena, Raquel Pennington. I agree with her. Do you care about that fight at all? Do you care about that fight? I'd rather see Mayra take on Julian Pena. I think there would be a lot of shit talking. And it'd be nice to see. I mean, Pena might. I don't know who'd be favored, to be honest. Maybe Pena because she's a former champ, but it'd just be nice if Bueno Silva beat the shit out of her to shut Julia Pena up because she is the biggest shit talker in MMA right now, guys, as you know. So it'd be an interesting fight. Just give me your thoughts. I'll get the comments in a sec, guys. But yeah, give me your thoughts on the main event. I thought Bueno Silva, that submission was great. So what do you think, man?
First round, I thought we got a typical Holly Holm fight. Yep. You know. Yeah,
she did win the first round. We should mention that.
Yeah. And I was happy she got the finish, man, because it was already like, I think 6:45 a.m. And I really was looking forward to another 4 rounds of Holly Holm holding you against the cage and punching. So I was happy she got the finish. Good for her, man. She's kind of funny, you know. That's I mean, she's with Gloria De Paula, right? So
they're together. Her girl, her wife's pretty good looking too. Right?
Yeah,
so.
Former UFC fighter, by the way. Yeah. I mean, she did well, and people say like if Holly won the fight, she deserves a title fight. You know, in my opinion, then if Bueno Silva wins the fight, she deserves it as well. Yeah. Do I want to see her fight for a title? Yeah, for sure. Why not? You know, I'm not really intrigued by Pena against Pennington. Bueno Silva against Pena, I like it. I think it's a good fight. I mean, you can do pretty much whatever there. You know, you can do what you want. You have a lot. Listen, man, Holly Holm is not now in for a title. It's either those 3. I think Duranda Meat comes back later this year. Wonder who she's gonna match her up with. So we'll see. Bueno Silva against Pena is perfect in my opinion. Put it on the
New York
on the November or December card. Yeah, make it like the co-main or under the co-main, one or the two.
I think you could do 3 title fights maybe on in the New York for that 30th anniversary. That
exactly.
Yeah, I think so. So or December, like you said. We don't like. I mean, maybe Connor and Michael Chandler. If they do that, it'd be kind of weird to have a title fight co-main event, but I mean, it could happen too. But yeah, I think it makes sense. Let me get some comments, guys. Is it time for Holly to retire? She's getting too slow. No, I don't think so. I mean, she is 41, turning 42, but she still beats most of the women in the division. Like Bueno Silva's a good fighter, guys. It's not like she's a terrible fighter. She's very good. And
by the way,
I don't think it's a bad loss to have. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I remember when she was like on the verge of almost being cut when she fought Wu Yanan. Mm-hmm. I think this is almost a year ago, maybe.
Yep,
you know?
Just over a year ago. Yep.
Yeah, I remember writing an article on that, and it was like, This was on the main card, that fight. It went fight of the night, I think, and I had on the article like lose or lose down or something, So
Yeah.
it's actually crazy where Bueno Silva went from.
It is. I mean, she's looked great. She's won bonuses in 3 of her last 4, won 4 straight fights at 135. Because I'll be honest, man, after that fight with Della Rosa and then Ferro especially, where she was like, looked terrible in that fight, just looked so bad in that fight. And Ferro's a really good fighter, we know that. But I was kind of willing to write her off a little bit, Marcel. Like I'm like, okay, she'll beat Wu Yanan, but some of these other to be fair, like some of the matchups weren't that hard. I mean, Egger, Landsberg, these are not great fighters, right? But Holm, this is a big win. It's a huge win for her. So to me, obviously the biggest win of her career. And I do think it gets her that title shot. I really do. I think she can definitely beat Juliana Pena. I think her takedown defense, if it holds up at 135, she looks stronger at this weight class. If it holds up, guys, she'll win the fight. At 125, it never looked that great. I mean, the Della Rosa fight, you remember that? She grabbed the fence, if I'm not mistaken, in that fight. Right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, it'd be interesting. All right, let me get some comments here. We also was in the top 5 at 125 from, like, Santos, Chuk, Kagan, Maya. Yeah, I mean, the 135 division is weak right now, right? It's pretty weak. To be honest, 115 is the best one. And then, Marcel, I'll be honest, 125 is deeper now than 135. 135 is not good. 145 is a joke. We have a fighter that ran away straight into the fence. So it's just a bad fight. So you picked up Marcel. Picked up your money? What money? What are you talking about? What'd you get?
Marcus.
Marcus. Sorry, I think it said Marcel. Yeah, Marcus.
I think.
Yeah, he hit a big bet on him. Silva. Yeah, she's got great jiu-jitsu. They should book Pennington. Bro, no one wants to watch this fight. That's the thing, Joe. Like, Pennington's a good fighter. She's a really good fighter. To be honest, like, she's probably the best of the 3, to be honest. But she doesn't move the needle. No one's excited to watch Raquel Pennington fight, okay? She's a very good fighter. Probably deserves a title shot, but, like, let me take a look at her record. How many wins in a row does she have? Like, 2? Like, let me double check. She has 5 straight wins. My apologies. But again, like, the excitement level is not really there. She definitely, like, again, she's a really good fighter. I think Raquel Peng is a really good fighter. I've always thought that. Very underrated, but doesn't move the needle. And if you're the UFC, you're trying to get the biggest fights possible too. So it's possible they could do it, Joe, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Bueno Silva too. Do you think Holm's overrated? Probably. I mean, I think it's fair to say a little bit, but she did knock out Prime Ronda. That was, the biggest win of her life. And she does have some other good wins. Like, she has the win over Pennington. She has the win over Aldana. She has some good wins, 2 wins over Pennington, actually. But overall, her record in the UFC is it 7-7? 8 and 8-7. 8-7. So it's she loses her next fight, it's 500. That being said, you look at who she's lost to: Tate, Shevchenko, Durandamy, Cyborg, Nunes. Those are all Hall of Fame fighters, right? So, and then Vieira and Silva. So she's definitely on a decline, fair to say. But she has, like, most of her losses are against, like, elite women's fighters. So it's tough. Her record's not great, but I guess I would say she's a little overrated, Holly Holm. But I mean, still, she'll probably be in the Hall of Fame too, though. She knocked out Ronda. Is that fight in the Hall for that knock? Again, they need the knockout win, right? We've talked about this.
Yeah, it's not in the Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah, they need that. They need to get that fight in there one day, just because the knockout was so good. Yeah, it's been a while since they did 3 title fights, but I think they'll do it again because it's UFC the 30th anniversary, right? To be honest, not Pena, Pennington, Bueno Silva moving the needle. Fair, but I still think, like, Pena and Bueno Silva, I do think it sells more because I think they talk more shit. Like, I've never heard Pennington say anything bad about anyone. Not to say you have to, but in this case, there's a girl that's out there talking a lot of shit. So I think UFC would prefer Pena as champion. I wouldn't prefer it. I find her just delusional. I mean, some of the stuff she's been saying, guys, like, it's almost like you wonder, like, how many shots to the head she's taking because, like, oh, Amanda's running away from me. It's like, what are you talking about, Why do you guys think people hate Pena? Because she's really delusional, dude. Some of the stuff she said is it's extremely disrespectful, some of the stuff she said. I get it's a fight game. Shit gets talked. I get that. But who the fuck agrees with what she's saying? Like, who agrees that Nunes ran for her and retired because she didn't want to fight her again? I mean, no one's going to agree with that. So, anyways, Marcel, anything else you want to say about this? The main event?
No, I'm good.
Joe, I think you're, like, the only guy in the world that really wants to see Pena Pennington. I'm not criticizing you, man, but, like, I haven't seen anyone else say they're interested in that fight. Are you interested in that fight at all, Marcel?
I mean, I'll watch it, but I only watch it because it's on the card, But
Fair enough.
it's not
All right,
like I have it on my fridge or something.
All right, let's go to the co-main event. We got Della Maddalena wins a split decision over Bassil Hafez. I mean, super competitive fight. Like I talked about, man. Like we didn't talk about it on the podcast because I think the fight was short notice, right? But I did watch this guy's interview last week, and like it was impressive, man. Like the guy he's saying all the right things. He looked the part, and I started to think like, man, with the double weight cut, this could be a closer fight than the odds are indicating. So I stayed away from it. Ended up being a really close fight. I have no problem with Jack winning the fight. I had it a draw though, guys. I maybe I'm in the minority here, but I did think that third round was a 10-8 round. Like Jack dominated him in that round. I think if you look at the card, they handed out 10-8 rounds to like Alex Munoz earlier in the card. That wasn't really deserved in my opinion. Even Evan Elder had a 10-8 round, and I thought he won that fight with 10-8. Then this fight's not 10-8. Kind of bizarre to me because I think that was a clear 10-8 round. I'm just looking at MMA decisions. Most people had Jack Della Maddalena winning, which again I have no problem with. But I'm surprised no other media had a draw. I'm surprised. What did you have in Marcel?
First round 10-9 for Bassil Hafez. Third round 10-9 for Maddalena, and second round super close, dude. I thought it was super close. Could go either way. Listen, man, if you give it to Della Maddalena, I'm cool with it. I'm also cool with it if you give it to Hafez. So it wasn't really like, it was super close in my opinion. I had no problem with it. Some people say robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. I think it was a close fight. It could have gone either way.
Oh, super close.
Yeah.
Again, this is not the kind of fight that you should be like. This is the scoring criteria should be like this and this. Like this fight was super close. I was watching extremely closely. Second round was close, guys. I know that Jack did land more strikes, but Bassil also landed a lot of hard shots in that round. And again, it's not control time. It's effective grappling. And to be honest, some of it was very effective. Like Jack couldn't get up. He was trying, couldn't get up. Now, do I think that he got exposed in this fight? Because a lot of people were saying that, Marcel. Maybe a little bit. To be honest, maybe a little bit. I know he said he doesn't feel that way, but maybe a little bit, Marcel, because I'll be honest, I was going to pick him against Sean Brady. I would have bet him in that fight. Looking back at it now, I don't know if he would have won that fight, to be honest with you. Maybe I got lucky by that fight not happening. The thing is, Bassil Hafez is a good grinding type of powerful wrestler. There's not like a ton of them like this. Like there's elite guys, obviously, like a Usman, Colby, or whatever, but like the guy's a good fighter, man. This guy deserves to be in the UFC. He's underrated, right? He's tough as fucking nails. To me, he was kind of the story of the fight because he came in on short notice and did well as a plus 500, but still lost the fight. For me, I think you rebooked the fight with Sean Brady, and I think it's a good test though for Jack, because Brady's a good grappler, and I do think the takedown defense got a little bit of, I wouldn't say the takedown, it's just the grappling and also the fight IQ too, right? Like going to the ground with the guy in the third round a little bit, like he didn't need to do that. Still won the fight, don't get me wrong, but some of that stuff is like those mistakes can be cleaned up and you become a better fighter. I still think JDM is a good fighter, but I think maybe Marcel, I'm going to still may roll a little bit with him, just a little bit. I'm not saying he's not going to run the ladder up, he might, but I do think the grappling defense isn't as good as I thought at first. And looking back, remember that fight with Angelusa on Contender? That was 2 years ago, right? So I thought, okay, he's made a lot of improvements, but some improvements, man, but maybe not as many as we thought. I got to just give the Hafez guy a lot of credit, though, for being tough as nails. Still, Jack got the win. He got the win. He moves on. And I think he'll fight in Sydney, right? Do you rebook that fight with Sean Brady? Is that what you would do? What do you guys think? Who else would you guys do?
Well, obviously, you rebook that fight with Brady if he is healthy, I don't really think he got exposed, man, in my opinion. It's like when people said Ahmad Sarukian got exposed. That's also bullshit to me. Listen, man. He got the control on the ground a few times, for a couple of minutes sometimes, but he stuffed a lot of takedowns at the same time as well.
He did. I think Jack. Let me get the stats. 3 for 20 by Bassil.
Yeah, so, that's what I mean.
But when he got the takedown again, 7 minutes of control is a lot. It's half the fight he was controlling. Again, guys, I know what the scoring criteria is. I'm very well aware of it. I think I'm a pretty good judge, and I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm the best judge in the world. I'm pretty good at it. It's not just control time; it's effective grappling. I do think there was a lot of effective grappling being done in that second round. Do I think Jack did more damage? Probably. You know, and again, maybe I scored it wrong. Maybe I'm not saying I have the perfect scorecard here, but watching it live, I didn't watch it back. I only watched it once. I had 10-9, 10-9, then I had 10-8 at a draw. And I feel good about that because it makes me feel like I'm on either side. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, it's possible. You know, I don't say it's not possible what you have. I think it's listen, man. 10-9 round 2, either way, possible. I gave Jack 10-9 third round. I can see a 10-8.
I had 10-8. 43-7 and strikes landed. 43-7.
Yeah, I can see.
It's a
I
big
definitely
difference.
can see 10-8. I can see 10-8, but I didn't score myself 10-8. But
fair enough.
I mean, it's. For me, it's like you got to see more in this thing, you know. And people say it's excuses. It's not. You know, it's only excuses when Jack brings it up himself. But listen, 2 weight cuts in 1 week.
Yeah.
Fighting far from home, being there, waiting for an opponent, getting an opponent fell out, then getting a new opponent. Listen, Jack could have said like, "Fuck it, I'm going back to Perth and I fight on the Sydney card." He didn't do that. Yeah. He fought Bassil Hafez, and Bassil Hafez had almost a Land of Anada-esque performance, you know, in my opinion, against Tony Ferguson, remember? Yeah. And then everybody was on Land of Anada back then after that first performance. Only Lando got finished and Bassil didn't get finished. But yeah, I mean, sometimes, listen, but for Maddalena was Bassil Hafez the most difficult opponent so far in the UFC. And it's for many people, it's crazy because it was a newcomer, you know. Yeah. But it doesn't mean the newcomer sucks or anything, you know.
No, I knew this guy was good. I knew he was legit. Like,
exactly.
His record was pretty good. And all his losses are by decision. In fact, 3 of them were by split decision, and he has a split draw against Jeremiah Wells too. Yeah. So this guy is extremely tough. Now, I will say this, Marcel.
Yeah.
I think a fight like this takes a lot out of your chin, right? He took some huge fucking shots in that third round, guys. Do you think the fight should have been stopped?
The thing is, when I thought he could stop it, the referee, there were like 40, 55 seconds to go. And I was like, don't stop it. Because if you stop it, let him go on. You know, he took a lot of damage already. If you're going to stop it now, you could have stopped it 3 minutes earlier. You know what I mean? Now you shouldn't have stopped it. Only if it really like you didn't respond anymore or whatever, then obviously you should stop it. But it was okay for me not to stop it. I think there would have been a big outrage if he stopped it. You know?
Because, I agree.
Because then we had like the either 2018, 1919, and we didn't know the third round. You know what I mean? So there would have been a big outrage.
I get it.
So I think it's okay.
All right. So they won fight of the night. Well deserved. Jack, so you think Brady? You think you do the rebooking in Sydney? Or
yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah. Listen, man. Jack also asked for it. He's like, listen, I took this fight. I want the rebooking. I think I did enough to win the fight. He said, I think I landed more damage, you know. But he wasn't like bragging about it, you know. He was like, listen, this was a close fight. Yeah, I knew it was a close fight. If Bassil wants down the line, he wants a rematch, he can get the rematch.
No, that's what I'm saying. He was the fighter in the fight. And he was, he was the one saying, like, he wasn't sure what the judges would say. Like, usually you don't hear that. Like that Maxim guy earlier, he lost that fight to Tyson Dam, guys. He lost, and he was like, oh, I was confident I was going to get the decision. I'm like, what? Like, dude, he shouldn't have won that fight. You know, this one was a close fight. I don't have an issue with the scorecard at all. Maybe I'm wrong about the second round. I haven't watched it again. I haven't watched it the first time, but it was a good fight. It was a great fight. Doesn't matter.
That's what I respect. That's what I respect about Jack. You know, if you compare that to Paddy Pimblett, for example, against Gordon, you know what I mean?
Oh, you know what's funny?
That's night and day.
I was at New York with Marcus. We were waiting for Nick for dinner. I don't think I said this, but Jared Gordon walked by with that Jason Stroud guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they walked by, right? And James Lynch was like, hey, Jared, what's up, man? He starts talking to Jared. And I was like, hey, Jared, how's it going, man? And I was just like, dude, you got fucked the last year by Paddy, by the Bobby Green fight, and then with the matchmaking, and also like getting booked for that short notice fight. And he's just like, dude, worst year of my life. Like, I feel so bad for that guy, man. But it was funny though, right? I started talking to him, and my friend is there. My friend is not. He doesn't work at me. He watches the fights, but I would say he's like more than a casual fan, but not like like a hardcore fan like us. But he's like, I'm like, hey, it's my buddy, Vincent. And this is Jared. He's like, oh, hey, Jared, how's it going, man? He's like, what do you do, right? I'm like, dude, he's in the fucking UFC. Like, my friend doesn't know who he is, right? I'm like, dude, he's in the UFC. Jared's like, yeah, dude, I'm a UFC fighter, man. It was so funny, dude. I was like, wow, man, you gotta catch up on your UFC fighters. Anyways, yeah, it was funny. My buddy's like, again, he's more of like casual. I'd say like more than casual, but below hardcore, if that makes sense. Like in that, like an educated casual, I guess. He's like, oh man, I've never seen him fight. I'm like, dude, he fought Paddy Pimblett. Like, he's got that big fight. Anyways, let's go to the next fight. Francisco Prado looked great, knocks out Otman Nazatar. Yeah, I mean, the guy looked phenomenal. 20 years old. Yeah, man, to be honest with you, like I picked Nazatar, and then I kind of regretted it after because I'm like, man, this guy's cardio is so fucking bad. Him and his brother have like the worst cardio. Like these guys, this guy can't even go a full round without getting tired. Remember, 2 straight wins to open his career by knockout. Now he's lost 2 straight fights by knockout. Yeah, Azatar will probably be on loser least town kind of fight in his next fight. Prado, though, 20 years old. This is a big win. However, guys, the UFC is forcing him to move up to 170 now. The PI said he has to move up. He can't make 155 anymore. So, I don't know. At 170, what do you think, man? At 170, what do you think, guys, for this dude? Because I'm not sure at 170. What do you think? Yeah, no idea, right? We have no clue. He's 20 years old. He didn't look good against Jamie Larkin. His debut got out-wrestled in that fight, but I think it was short notice, yeah. And against a veteran. This fight was a good performance, but again, super big and powerful at 155, but at 170, guys, I'm not sure, and he doesn't have a big reach either. So I don't know. I mean, he's super young. He probably wins more fights. I'm not saying he won't, but I'm not as high on him, I don't think, at 170. That being said, I remember when Robert Whittaker moved to 185 like 10 years ago. I was like, this is the worst decision he's ever made. What is he thinking? And he just fucking became a champ. So you never know. You never know, man. But I don't know. It's kind of, to me, it's not the best thing, He's, again, 20 or 20. Wait, let me double check. Sorry, he's 21. He turned 21 a month ago. My apologies. But, I mean, he's super young. He just started drinking a month ago, right? Legally. So we'll see. He'll fill out, guys. I just don't like 69-inch reach at 170 is pretty short, isn't it, Marcel? So like that's like Max Holloway has that reach, I think, right? So it's not that high. Anything you want to say? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what did you think about that guy who was with him?
Who?
What's his name? Jimbo Slice. I don't know what his real name is. During the stare down before the fight. Did you see that?
I watched the stare down. I don't remember. I actually don't remember.
Okay.
Sorry. If you want to send me like a clip or something, I can watch it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Let me get some more comments, guys. Sorry about that. It's interesting. Oh, it's about Bassil. Jack's team took the muscle hammer fight. Yeah, that is interesting. The muscle hamster guy, dude, that guy's lucky he didn't fight. I mean, he might have had a brain injury during that fight. It's really sad. Hopefully that guy's. I was reading Josiah Harrell. I think MMA Junkie Nolan King talked to him. It's fucked, man. Like I live in Canada, right? So if you're sick, you go to the hospital. You're taken care of. I'm not saying it's fast. You got to sit there for a fucking long time to get seen. But once you do, they'll take care of you. Let me see it, Marcel.
I sent it to you.
But Muscle Hamster, I'm reading his thing, guys. No health insurance whatsoever. He would have never, been able to, check that brain injury unless UFC was doing it. Because again, the LFA and those things, they don't do medicals because it's expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you sent it? Oh, on
to WhatsApp.
Oh, on WhatsApp. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. Jimbo Slice?
Yeah. You should listen to the.
Oh, yeah. He's in Azatar's corner?
No, Prado's corner.
Oh, I thought he was in Azatar's corner. I remember this, Sal. Yeah. My bad. Okay, fair enough. Anyways, get back to the show. Sorry, guys. 2-8 Tails bad cardio.
What did you think about stoppage, actually?
I thought it was late.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was late too. Yeah, exactly.
He was out and he was eating like brutal hammer fists, and
he woke up with another fist.
yeah. I was like, man, you stop this fucking fight. Like, stop it. Like, you didn't need to. Yeah, it was one of those ones where he almost like woke up from the hammer fist, like Fedor and Dan Henderson. Remember that? Like where he like woke up.
Yeah.
But like, if you're knocked out, the fight's over. Like sometimes guys do wake up. I get that, and sometimes they get lucky and continue the fight. But the fight's supposed to be stopped. You get unconscious. Fight Talk, what's up, man? Thanks again for the artwork, my friend. Appreciate it. I agree with Prado Small 170. He is getting, he's growing up, but still. Take time to put muscle. I agree. Is that what it says on Tapology? I'm looking at UFC stats. I'm not saying Tapology is wrong, but I think the UFC stats would be the more accurate one, if I had to guess. Right, Marcel? Like for reach?
it's always everywhere is different. I mean, I have to do the checks for Discovery Plus, Eurosport, like weekly, and UFC stats has different stuff than Wikipedia. Then that's Topology, Sharador.
Yeah.
So I always go with the UFC stats. So
So I think it might have to be changed then, because looking at it right now, it says 76 on, looks like Antoine said. I'm gonna check his fight right now just to see what it said before the fight, because that would be the most 69. So unless they've, I think that's what it says for the Malarkey fight. Unless they've updated it since then, they didn't update it on the website. But I'm gonna go by UFC stats again. I do know there's some mistakes on there, guys, but All right, a couple other comments. Beercher, what's up, man? Light heavyweights. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about this either. Jamal Hill got injured, and man, crazy on a pickup basketball game in Vegas. I mean, the fact that him and Jiri both, lost their titles to injury is fucking sad. I don't know. There was that rumor out there. It's not true, right? About Pereira and
as far as I know, it's not true. But I mean,
UFC put something out there. Maybe it is true. Maybe it is. They're going to change it. What do you think?
I would be fucking annoyed by it if they do.
Why though? Why? Because Alex doesn't deserve a shot?
Of course. Listen, man. Everybody thinks I'm an anti-Pereira guy. I'm not. I actually like Alex Pereira, but if he gets his title shot, he gets given a title shot after a loss coming from middleweight. That's bullshit, And also, people saying like, who else? It should be either the rematch between Blachowicz and Ankalaev, or you make Jiri against Ankalaev, and you can wait. You can fucking wait. But if this fight here right now gets the title shot, if it gets the title fight, the UFC asked Jamal to drop the belt.
Of course they did. I think they asked Jiri too. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
I don't believe this whole bullshit about it's the warrior spirit. I don't believe that, Marcel, because these guys are business people too. Okay, they're not giving up their belts just out of generosity's sake. Now, Kyoji Horiguchi, I do think he legitimately gave up his belt. Right, that was a bit of a different situation. I think when you're UFC champ, you don't give up your belt unless you're forced to. I don't believe for a sec that Hill just voluntarily gave it up. I think the UFC told him you have to give it up, and we'll give you a title shot when you get back. And I think they told the same thing to Jiri. Now they're in a fucking spot where two guys had belts are out. So,
you know what's really annoying to me, man?
It's weird.
The people are like, I don't like to watch Ankalaev. Dude, Ankalaev is alongside Jiri the two best guys in the division.
That's what I'm saying. Why do we have rankings if the number 1 and 2 guys aren't going to fight for, or even 2 and 3 with Ankalaev and Blachowicz, right? I get it. Pereira's coming up. He was number 2 at 185, but again, no experience at 205 yet. Right?
Like I said, if they do Jan against Ankalaev, and I know many people don't want to watch that fight, but I have no issue with it. I have issue with Pereira fighting for a belt at 205.
205 is such a fucking wasteland. I'm looking at it right now, dude. You have Hill's out, Yuri's out. He might come back this year, hopefully. Ankalaev, I don't know where the fuck he is. It seems like the UFC hates this guy, so I don't know where he is. Blachowicz is a great fighter. I love Blachowicz. Rakic is still out. I think he's supposed to come back this year, but I have no fucking clue. Maybe next year. He had a bad injury, right, against Jan. Nikita Krylov's I like him too, but I mean, is he a guy you think is going to fight for a belt or be a champ? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Johnny Walker, he's got potential, right? But inconsistent.
I hear people saying Johnny Walker should fight Ankalaev. Man, suck my dick. It doesn't make fucking sense.
It doesn't, Marcel, but look at this division. It's so bad, and there's just not a clear guy.
Yeah, right, but they want to fuck Ankalaev over everybody.
Of course, they don't like him, dude. They don't.
No, I don't say the UFC, but fans as well. Oh, yeah. If you read shit on Twitter.
Well, it's because his last fight was bad. It was against Jan. It was a bad fight. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I still think he won that fight, and it's not
I did too. I scored a point too.
Officially, obviously, it's a draw, so I cannot back it with the fact that he should get the title shot next, but definitely should get the title shot over Pereira. I agree with like Blachowicz. Blachowicz is as deserving as Ankalaev or as less deserving as Ankalaev. You know what I mean? So
it does. You know what? Actually, I'm just looking at Ankalaev is 9-1-1 in the UFC.
Yeah.
And he has wins over, he has wins over Anthony Smith, who's ranked top 10, Volkan, and Krylov. Yeah, Santos not in UFC. He's a steroid user too, apparently. So, but he has 3 top 10 wins. That should be enough, right? Plus the draw. And like I said, I scored for him against Jan. Now, it wasn't a great fight. It was pretty bad, to be honest. But I think it was more just, remember the interview after? Remember he was like, the UFC fucked with these judges and all this stuff. And it's not really the UFC's fault the judges scored it, whatever it was, right? But yeah, that fight was weird, man. That score. I'm looking at the scores right now. You had, was it Mike Bell had it for Ankalaev, right? I think. Was
I
that
don't
the
know.
one?
I think I had 1, 4, and 5 for Ankalaev, with round 5 being a 10-8, I think, and 2 and 3 for Jan.
Let me double check what it was. Yeah, actually, sorry. Michael Bell had it for Jan.
Yeah.
Eric Cleary had it for Ankalaev, and then Sal had it a draw. So that's why it was a split draw. Most media had it for Ankalaev. Almost every media member had it for Ankalaev. Only two guys had it for Blachowicz. There's like 20 media members for Ankalaev. Anyways, we're getting off track here. Sorry guys, my apologies. Marcel he's a big Ankalaev guy, as we know, right? But Marcel's also a guy that wants things to be fair. And
yeah, that's it.
The number one contender is not fighting in the title fight. It doesn't really make sense, right? It doesn't really make sense. Why do we have rankings if they're not going to fight for the belt, right? So, a couple other comments. Easy Hot, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. You ever find what's Oddman's bag? It was a bag of potatoes. Wink, wink, right? I mean, Prado, I think that's what when he started saying he's going to change weight class, I'm like, oh, he must be moving to 145, but he's saying 170. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's going to do well at this weight class, but I don't know. I'm not convinced yet.
He looks like the guy when Drew Dober and Macy Barber should have a kid, you know.
He does kind of look like Drew a little bit, yeah. Imagine when you texted training with Colin, like, oh yeah, you're talking about McKinney. We'll talk about in second MMA locker room. Glad to see you in the chat, my friend. Yo, I always get to tell a shot. He'll probably get the next one if he beats up. Blachowicz confirms a typo. I mean, I don't think it's a typo. Like, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's kind of weird. Like, I know that's what they said, but it's kind of weird.
What I've heard is that they copy pasted the UFC 290 ad, and that they forgot.
Oh God! All right, well then that would be a typo. Jason, what's up, man? It's true. It's not a single soul wants to see Ankalaev Jan too. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. It's kind of like with Pennington and Pena. I don't think you want to see that fight personally, but I think Jan and Alex is fun for the title. Shouldn't be Ankalaev. Should be winner Jan Alex versus Yuri. Probably. We'll see what happens. I think if they don't do this title fight, then it's going to be Yuri versus the winner. I would guess, right? I would guess
that's possible. Yeah.
Is MVP in the UFC? Did they sign him? Did they make the signing? You know he's on the website on the UFC.
Yeah,
website.
I know. As a non-active fighter, I don't know.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to get signed then, right? He must be, right?
They don't like Contender Series.
You just make it. You think so?
No, of course not. He's not going to fight Contender Series.
Yeah, there's no way. He'll probably get like.
Why the hell would you?
You know what? How about this fight? I got to fight for him. I don't know if it's true, but
Punk?
No, dude, Wonder Boy. Because if Pereira is out, I don't know if it's that fight happening because Alex said he was out, but it's still on the website and everything. I haven't heard anything otherwise.
Sure.
Yeah, just say he's out though. Wouldn't Wonder Boy and Page be a fun fight? It'd be fun, right?
It would be, but man, why would UFC sign him? I thought, how old is the guy?
38?
36. 36. Okay.
Wonder Boy's 40, right? Isn't he?
Yeah.
Wonder Man.
He's
Wonder Man.
stay in the UFC, you know.
Yeah, Wonder Boy's he's a much better fighter, no doubt, way better. Well, yeah, definitely. All right, let's go to the next fight. What is it? Shit, I'm lost track now. Oh, we gotta get going, I guess. We're just like 40 minutes in. We're still on the prelims or in the main card, I should say. All right, let's go to the next fight. Jungyoung Park, my boy, the Iron Turtle, gets the win over Deriv. I mean, my tweet went on the screen after. He's the most underrated middleweight in the UFC, Marcel. No one talks about this guy. He's 7-2. He's a good fucking fighter. I really like Jungyoung Park. I made a big bet on him, guys, and I won a decent amount of money on him too. So minus 140 was an amazing, amazing deal for this guy. Really good grappling. Won 3 straight fights by submission. 7-2 in the UFC. Great record, right? I don't think he beat Derek Anders, but still got the win. But here's the thing. Not only does he have a good ground game, but his jab looked fast and brutal in this fight. He was marking up Durayev's face. We know Albert Durayev's a bit of a fraud. It's not like the best win in the world, but still a solid win. And he has the win over Barrio early in his career. He has the win over Anders on paper. Do you think he gets a top 15 guy, Marcel? By the way, best post-fight dance I think I've ever seen. That was fucking amazing. I've watched the dance a bunch of times. So awesome. Do you think Park gets a top 15 opponent?
I would give him Joe Pfeiffer, to be really honest. I like that fight.
Really?
Yeah, I really like that fight a lot. But yeah, Park looked good, man. I also picked Park, in this fight. For the simple reason that Duraev gasses late in the fight normally, and he did again,
Yeah.
But it's a good win, I mean, Duraev was never finished by submission before, so that's big. And Park looks good. Actually, the funny thing is when Park came alongside his teammate Dawoon Jong in the UFC, right? I think Dawoon Jong had a lot of more hype behind him, and Park has now that took that over from him. I think By the way, do you know that I think we both were the first two tweets on the screen during the first prelim. I came on screen, and after that you came on screen. Very funny, actually.
That's awesome. I didn't notice it, but that's fucking awesome. But with Park, like, before he came to the UFC, like, he fought good competition. He fought Shavkat in 2016. Like, he has a win over Ray Cooper III, right? So he had a lot of experience going into the UFC. I was kind of sleepy on him, to be honest with you guys, but I think it was that John Phillips fight where he beat the fucking shit out of him. Set that record, I think, for strikes landed.
Yeah.
And then they had to change the way that DFS is scored because they were considered just strikes and not significant, and they weren't getting counted in fantasy. Now it's different.
Was that the white Mike Tyson?
That guy, yeah. Now, he did lose to RoboCop, which is not, in hindsight, a great loss because RoboCop obviously struggled a little bit. But, again, 7-2 is a great record. I think it's a top 15 guy personally, but,
I have no problem with it if they do it.
I wouldn't mind seeing maybe the winner against Craig and Muniz. Maybe the winner of that fight. I'm not sure. I really don't know what they're going to do. Chris Curtis would be interesting too. He's fighting Fluffy. Maybe, if he beats Fluffy, that would make a lot of sense.
Well, what about Imavov?
I think Imavov's kind of earned a bigger fight because he looked great against Chris Curtis, although he didn't win the fight technically. But that's a good fight too. They could do that in France, right? Maybe because he didn't take much damage, Park.
Yeah, exactly.
So they could do that. That's another fight. That's a tough fight for Park, let's be honest. But I think because of his grappling and cardio, Marcel, in the boxing,
he can win that.
He can win a lot of fights. He can win a lot of fights in the UFC. He's a good fighter, guys. I like the Iron Turtle, man. And that dance, like I said, guys, that was fucking hilarious. The dance was amazing. The dance was fucking. I've watched the dance 20 times. I watched the dance 20 times, man. By the way, I didn't talk about this last week. Did you see that clip of Duplessis getting his cup checked by like his coach? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, dude, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that before in the corner. It was so funny. Does the mouthpiece and grabs his cup and twists it? Just wanted to get a hand on that. I want to give him a little bit of a handy. All right, next fight here. In MMA Locker, we're going to answer a question about McKinney. Just one sec, dude. Sorry, it's my fault. My timing's not too great today, guys. Obviously, with the way we're doing it, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this. A lot of the prelims I don't really want to talk about too long.
No, exactly. So we can go through that.
This fight I don't really want to talk about too long either. Norma Dumont beats Chelsea Chandler. Again, steal of a line, minus 145 at close for Norma Dumont. Like, Chelsea Chandler is not a great fighter. Norma Dumont, listen, she is boring as shit. She's 6-2 with all her wins coming by decision. Like, it's just not exciting to watch, right? It's not exciting, Marcel. But
all my friends love Norma Dumont.
I mean, I like Norma. That's what I'm saying. She's good looking chick. She's got that dump truck, obviously, that Dorosenko talked about. Obviously, I mean, that's why she's the UFC, because she's attractive and she's a good fighter, but not exciting. Let's be honest, right? The most exciting part of this fight was when she rocked Chandler and Chandler ran straight back into the fence. Like, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It reminded me, there's a few other fights, just a few. There's two that remind me of. Number one was Chris Hordesky against Anthony Njokuani in WEC. Remember back in the day?
Kick.
Yeah, he ran away and got kicked in the head and knocked out. Like, don't ever. A second that fighter turns their back, the fight honestly should be stopped. Like, I think, because this girl was running. If she kept running, it might have stopped the fight, possibly. The other one was in one championship. It was Melvin Manhoff against Brock Larson, and he fucking ran. But I don't blame him because at that point, I mean, let's be honest, man. Your countryman Marcel was probably not clean. I'll just say that, Marcel. He probably wasn't 100% clean, and he's a scary fucking dude. But yeah, the run was comical. I mean,
Melvin does now work for the Dutch broadcast Bellator, man.
Does he? That's good. That's good. Anyways, yeah, Dumont looked okay, I guess. Like, what's next for her though? Like, did she beat Carol Hossa already? Okay, she beat her in the last fight.
It's really obvious what's next.
Title shot.
Listen, man, if the UFC doesn't give Norma a title shot, they should axe the 145 division.
Who's she gonna fight though? Who would she fight?
I don't give a shit. You know, they just ask a random girl to fight her at who's at 135. You know, fucking ask Holly Holm to go to 145. Ask Jermaine Durandamy.
You know what? Maybe we'll do. Yeah, Holly Holm. Like, maybe she'll go back up. Could you see that happening?
Yeah,
I mean, interesting fight actually. Wasn't that supposed to happen? Wasn't that booked at one point? Holm and Dumont. Can't remember.
So I'm not sure.
What about Irene Aldana? Could that be?
Yeah, makes sense. Why not?
Yeah, there's some fights there, so it's going to be a 135er, right? It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
If they're going to keep the belt, then obviously Norma should be fighting for it. Again, I'm like, she's like Pennington. Like, she gets the job done. She's a good fighter, but not exciting, you know. But at the end of the day, it is wins and losses. 6-2 is a great record. It's still fucked to me that like Megan Anderson, who's terrible, knocked her out, And
Yeah.
if they rematched, I would take Dumont to submit her in like
Me
the first
too.
round. Like I think everyone would, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, GDR coming back. She's coming back. She had her kid last year, I want to say, or earlier
This year.
She'll come back, right? Next year or so. She'll fight again.
No,
right?
she comes back this year.
She's gonna fight again. And Marcel
Yeah.
would know because she's in Dutch. She's in Holland too. Dutch is not your country. Yeah, all that shit in the major run. I know. The backstage thing was just to get people excited about the fight. I'll give Chelsea Chandler credit. She's a pretty good shit talker. She obviously learned that from the Diaz brothers, no doubt.
This
right?
is fun. This is actually funny, man.
Yeah, I thought she was funny too at the media day.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was kind of buying into some of the stuff she was saying, but then it was a little bit too ridiculous too, and I'm like, okay. Anyways, next fight here. MMA locker room finally get to talk with your boy Terrence McKinney. And again, I've been on Sadikov because again, Marcel, what's Terrence's biggest problem? What's his biggest problem?
Has cardio.
His cardio is what does he have? 5 minutes? Not even, right? Like he was tired before the 5 minutes were up. Listen, Terrence is a very talented fighter. I really like Terrence McKinney. Don't get me wrong. I remember betting him against Favola as a huge dog. That was awesome. He's had some really good wins in the UFC, but all his losses by stoppage, guys. He's a front runner, right? If it doesn't go his way, kind of, will shell up a bit, and that happened here again. Yeah, I mean, he controlled that first round with the body triangle, but it wasn't the great game plan. We all know that, like, you control the body triangle, you're going to burn your legs, you're going to get tired, and he got exhausted, and Sadikov took over and then submitted him, which is funny, right? Because he had 5 minutes of control and didn't do anything with it, and then Sadikov immediately takes it back and taps him out. I think they'll give Terrence one more fight, though, because if you were saying he's going to get cut, I think he'll get one more. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we passing over a real big thing in this fight, dude. And
the fence grab, yeah.
The two fence grabs.
There was another fight with fence grab. What was the other one? Was it Melsick? Melsick,
yeah,
right?
it was Melsick. Was the one before.
Back-to-back fights with fence.
The thing is with Sadikov. The thing is with Sadikov and McKinney.
Keith Peterson and Jacob Montalvo. Yeah.
The thing is with Sadikov and McKinney is that Sadikov kept his balance twice when McKinney tried to grab him, and that's what kept him on top, and he got the win there. He should have got a point deducted for that, and they should have been in a neutral position. So, in my opinion, and it won't do anything because the commission Terrence should appeal this fight. It
won't change anything.
No, definitely not. But he definitely should do it because that was a very bad moment. I think. Listen, Peterson's like, let go, dude.
He was like slapping his hand. I saw.
Yeah, like what the hell?
They gotta start taking points. This is fucking bullshit, honestly. And again, I bet on Sadikov, so I was like, all right, I'll take it. But it's not fair. You know what I mean? It's not fair. The refs are way too lenient in the sport, man. The refs are way too lenient. We all know the rules. You're not supposed to grab the fence. It wasn't just one, because I'll be honest. Like, I think it's fair to say that it's a natural reaction to grab it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're repeatedly grabbing it, and the ref's he's like hitting your hand like this, and you're still grabbing it, you're cheating. You're fucking cheating. That being said, Marcel, if the ref doesn't fucking enforce it, then why the fuck wouldn't you cheat?
Yeah, that's true. It's obviously, it's obviously you do that automatically. When you fall down, you want to grab something to not fall down, or to keep your balance. That's automatically a thing. The thing is, it's illegal, so it should be punished, I don't blame the fighter for it, because why wouldn't you take advantage of it if the referee doesn't do shit about it? But I mean, I blame the ref for it, and I blame the commission for it, for not doing anything about it, and it keeps going, And 2 fights actually have been decided by that on Saturday.
What was the other one, Melsick?
Yeah, Melsick. Melsick also kept his balance because he grabbed the cage, and I think he did it 6-7 times even,
His was maybe even worse. That fight was super close.
Plus, he kicked him in the dick, and he poked him in the eye.
Melsick should have had a point deducted, I think. That fight should have probably been a draw. It really should have been, because, and then we picked Melsick here. We like him, but like...
Yeah, sure.
Do you think they give McKinney one more?
I hope so. I think they should.
He's an exciting guy. He does a good job on Twitter and stuff, getting his fights, getting people pumped for his fights. The Zima League grabbed the octagon 3 different occasions, get dominant position. Should have been a point, obviously. I mean, it's not even a question, Marcus. Cage grabs were very blatant. Yeah, I agree completely. Fighters should be able to veto a ref. Yeah, they should. Like, Dominic Cruz should not be with Keith Peterson, right? Marcel doesn't know anything about the Costa thing. He says, like...
I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what he said. If they review, will they overturn it? No, they won't overturn this fight. They won't, because I just don't think they have enough here, There's grounds for overturning fights, but I don't think this is one of them. That being said, again, the point should have been deducted. Sorry, we just talked about Melsick, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Melsick looked pretty good. Like, Tucker I was surprised Tucker got tired. He was the one who got gassed
Yeah.
out in this fight, right? Like his cardio was bad, which is surprising. Meltzer looked pretty good in the last couple of rounds, I guess. But again, grabbed the fence a bunch of times, kicked him in the dick, and poked his eye. He should have point deducted.
I gotta give Meltzer credit for his post-fight speech where he was saying like, "Listen, guys, I still need a lot of work on my ground game because it's really not that good. You know, I'm good in my kickboxing, but my ground game needs a lot of work still." He's at least honest. You know, he's honest in what he did, and he was. You know, I respect that. So. Yeah, we'll see. I think like you said, his kickboxing is fun to watch. He's a really fun fighter to watch. But the thing is, like, the grappling isn't that good. And you saw Tucker Lutz going for the takedown time after time. I saw the moment Tucker couldn't get it anymore because he was too tired, and that was Melsik's. That was the saving for Melsik in the third round because he landed a lot of punches. So yeah, it was good for him.
Completely agreed. All right, let's go to the next couple of fights here. Victoria Dudakova defeats Della by TKO, but I knew it was an injury. Bad one too. Looked like with shoulder dislocation. I know they popped it back in, but like you have to imagine she tore some like ligaments in there. She'll be out for a while. Stella Nunes 0-4 in the UFC. Does she get another fight because they feel bad for her, or no? No way, right?
The thing is, like, I don't think so. The really thing that really actually annoyed me, that was the post-fight interview with Dudakova.
Oh, DC? With DC?
No, that Dudakova was like, I can even, what's it say? You can even break an arm without doing anything. That's like, and then people are saying like, yeah, she is young. Dude, when I was 22, I wasn't a dick.
That was rude.
Yeah, listen,
it's a fight game though, bro. It's still a fight
but
game.
if I see somebody breaking or how do you say that? Not breaking, but like dislocating his arm or her arm, you know, and I see that person like screaming and crying, I'm not gonna say like if she dies, she dies, like that kind of line, you know. I mean, you can have some compassion still. I mean, the fight is over, so I really don't like that. Don't care how old you are, you know. Like I said, you also can be normal at 22. You don't have to think. You don't have to have some life lessons to get some common sense. So yeah, I felt bad for Stella Nunes, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. 0-4, not likely. I mean, Daniel Lacerda is 0-4, but at least he had like almost all fights are entertaining. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see. But sucks for Nunes, man. I mean, that was really horrible, and that scream was that was really bad.
I mean, she was clearly in pain. I mean, it's definitely painful. So, as someone who's broken their arm, it sucks.
What's your question about McKinney, MMA locker room? I have no idea what he said.
I think you just wanted to talk about the fight. We were asking who's the worst McKinney or old school fighter, Cabbage Patch? What are you asking, bro? Let me try. I honestly don't know. What's the I saw this comment. I agree that, you know, he should have got better training with Holland. This ground, you know, he should be able to do something. Can you ask the question again? Maybe I missed it, man. Sorry. Mike sent me pics. What's up, man? Thanks so much, dude. Appreciate it. Mike does a great job with his podcast as well. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. The fence grab wouldn't have saved him. What's your question though? I'm so confused.
I want to know that as well.
MMA locker room, bro. You already started the 420 at 6 o'clock right now? Or actually, no. He's in California, so it's like 3 o'clock. You got another hour to go for 420 starts, man. What are you asking us, bro? Just joking. What's next up? Oh, he's being petty. Fair enough, dude. Yeah, we all like Terrence. Like, I love Terrence, dude. I remember like he follows me on Twitter. I remember when my daughter had her birthday. I think last year I posted something and he said happy birthday, daughter. So I always liked the guy, but again, when we're breaking down fights, you got to be neutral. I can't be like, oh, I really like this guy as a person, so I'm going to pick him. You know, Marcel? Like, I know he's got flaws. His cardio is it's not great.
I mean, I talk to him sometimes, but that's not the reason why I picked him in this fight. I picked him in this fight because I thought he would be able to maybe get the finish early. But I
didn't go for it enough, eh? He didn't go for it hard enough. Yeah. He should have went for it better. Like, he just was kind of playing handsies. All right. A couple other fights. We'll go through them quick. I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Was it Melchiziel Costa?
Melchiziel, I would say.
Melchiziel. Dude, he looked fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. He didn't get a bonus, guys. It was a decision. They don't usually do that, but I think he could have got a bonus, Marcel. I was blown away by his performance. What'd you think of this guy? I thought he was one of the breakout fighters on the card. What'd you think?
First of all, really sexy haircut. Yeah, I mean, he looked good, you know. He looked really good. Those kicks were nasty. and Lingo kept coming.
Most guys go down from those kicks.
Yeah.
That is crazy he didn't get knocked out in this fight.
Yeah. And he kept kicking him at the same place, but he kept coming, you know. And Lingo was super tough, but Costa's so good, you know. This is a great second fight of his. You know, he came short notice, UFC 283 in Rio against Thiago Moises. This is a great second fight for him. I think he's training with Joanna Sobrito. Was in his corner, right? And he was in the corner of Elvis Brenner 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I like him a lot. You know, he did well. I liked him in LFA already. Good win. What else can we say? Good win. Good.
The guy's better than I thought. I wasn't impressed by the Moises fight, but again, it was short notice off a weight class. Like, and the guy, like you said, had a lot of experience. I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought Lingo was a dog. I thought it was a coin flip fight.
And he still is. He still is. He kept going forward.
He's a fucking dog, that's for sure. But it wasn't a coin flip fight, dude. He should. And at close, I remember in the Discord chat, I was like, "Why is this guy minus 250? Like, what has he proven to be that he should be like minus 500?" To be honest with you, it was a fucking beating. Next fight, Evan Elder looked great again. I really like this kid, Marcel. I really like him. He's super young. He's 26. Trains at Killcliff FC. Seems like a really personal guy. Again, lost short notice debut up a weight class to Parsons. We got out grappled. He was beating Nazim Sadikov before the doctor stoppage. And then I thought he clearly won this fight with Valdez. I know some people were kind of concerned about the scorecard. I thought he clearly won the fight.
I was like, when he got tagged in the second round, I was like, no way, dude.
That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. I bet on Elder, and I was like, oh, fuck, you got to be kidding me.
He looked so good until that moment, but then he took over and he looked good again, you know.
What do you think of this kid, man?
I like him a lot. Like I said to you last week, he alongside with Gabriel Santos, he's like the 0-2 guy who is a lot better than 0-2. He should be, you know.
Yes, we both called that last week. I remember that. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, the Parsons fight, was a weight class up, super short notice, I think. But after that, the Nazim Sadikov fight, he was winning, was 20-18 up on the scorecards until he got that cut and it got stopped, you know. So, I like him a lot. He also trains at Killcliff. I like his dad was screaming like, "That's my fucking son" or something, I think, on the octagon. That was funny. Good win. You know, good win. He should win against a guy like Genaro Valdez. I think Valdez got knocked down in every single of his UFC fight, and I think he got knocked down 3 times this time, you know, or 2 times, and he got 1 time wobbled. I don't know, but good win for Aldo, man. And when he needed, obviously.
They didn't count that first round as a knockdown. It sure seemed like it to me. Again, I haven't only watched it the one time, but it looked like a knockdown. But yeah, Valdez is tough, but has a bad chin, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. Like his chin is bad, but he's just tough. He's a dog. He's 0-3. Do you think he gets one more because it was a good fight? You think he gets one more?
Maybe he can fight out his contract, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know?
What's he making? 12-12, probably.
Yeah. Maybe they put him as the early prelim on that September 16 card. You know,
he could be the first fight against someone.
Yeah.
Let's go. Can we find a fight for him? Can we do that? Who's going to be his fight?
Why not? Mike Jackson's still on the roster?
No. Who's the guy that lost to Mike Jackson? He got cut too? What's his name?
Yeah, Dean Barry. He's fighting a Titan now.
Oh, he's a Titan, back in Titan? Yeah. All right, lightweight, right? So he's what, 0-3? Valdez?
Yeah. Give him a Azaitar.
Jesse Butler, Ottman Azaitar, Sam Patterson, Carl Deaton.
Maybe. Yeah.
They could do that fight. You know what? He could win that fight. That's actually you know what? That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Deaton's not that good though, but Mike Breeden, he's fighting Venata. Yeah, we're looking at the bottom of the roster. I mean, I just think the guy's exciting, you know, but he's not very good, right? Like
I'm with you there.
Gabriel Miranda, that guy that fought Benoit Saint Denis, maybe him. Could be him. You could get one of these guys from like Road to UFC. Some of these dudes. There's fights. You know what, man? He probably gets one more. Actually, what about this fight? I got the fight. I got the fight, Marcel. I got the fight, guys, for Valdez. Okay. Trevor Peak.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a fucking fight of the night. I swear to God. Do you think it'd be a good one?
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You like it, eh? Oh, yeah. McKinney.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
You know what? So there's fights with this. He'll get one more. But Elder, I'm high on. 26. Dude, his striking looked great. Like the kickboxing, the combinations. He actually throws combinations. Like he looked really good. But I'll be honest, man, he got dropped. That was scary. So it kind of worries me a little bit. He gets hit a bit too much, but he's good. Yeah, Deaton's not very good. Deaton had a winnable fight, guys, and he did nothing in that fight. He did nothing. I'll give him credit. His takedown defense was good, but he did nothing against Munoz. Let's go through his fights quick. As that Maxim gets Tyson Nam, I thought Nam won. The strike stats actually have him landing like double. So a lot of people thought Zach Maxim won. All the people that said that, Jack Della clearly beat Bassil Hafez. Like, you look at the stats of this one, I mean, it's the same thing. I had Nam winning. I had him winning. Who'd you have?
I had Maxim winning 2-1, but close fight, very close fight. My opinion could have gone either way. The thing is, like you said, listen, man, there is no hype between Azat Maksum in the US, and there is no hype between Tyson Nam. He's a veteran, and there was a lot of hype after Della Maddalena. That's why many people are pointing that fight out. That most people don't care about this fight. I do care, you do care, but most people don't. And I think
I just thought Nam looked good for his age. 39.
Listen, man, he's definitely a veteran.
He's still good.
Who still is still good, and he has some legit wins on his record. I mean, he knocked out fucking Eduardo Dantas and Ali Bagotino.
Dude, that was 11 years ago. The Eduardo one. Isn't that crazy? I remember when that happened. That was a huge win. He was 28 years old. Now he's 39. The years go by so fucking quick. Anyways, I think he's still a good fighter. He's 3-5 in the UFC. I think he'll get one more because he's like Marcel. He's the gatekeeper, right? He's the gatekeeper.
Pretty much, yeah, he is. Yeah.
This guy's lucky he won the fight. I really think a different set of judges might have scored it differently, but he remains undefeated. I think he's 17-0 now. So curious to see what they do with him next. And the last two fights, I mean, Munoz defeats Deaton. This fight was pretty bad. Munoz did land, I think it was a head kick in the third round, I want to say.
Yeah.
That dropped Deaton. I had him winning all 3 rounds. I was surprised that Cormier was like, oh, this fight's so close. Maybe Deaton won Fitzgerald. I was like really surprised. Like, again, fights do look a little different in person, so maybe it was closer in person. But I thought Munoz clearly won. I'm assuming you felt the same?
Yeah. Did you saw Sal Diamado?
Was he doing that against one of the fence posts? Yeah. You guys got TV right in front of him, but he's doing that. Fucking idiot. And then your girl, Aileen Perez, defeats Ashley.
Why?
Yeah, your girl, because she loves your ass, bro. You love it. Everyone does. No. Fabiano loves it. He does.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Fabiano got caught looking. He got caught looking. And
the funny thing is that we actually were really questioning this fight, like who's going to win here. Give me
1 second. I gotta take a phone call. 1 second. Keep talking. 1 second.
Yeah, absolute complete blowout, actually. I think Aileen Perez looked really good with her wrestling, with her takedowns. She almost finished Ashley Evans in the first round. Second, third round, also Aileen Perez a lot better. I mean, good performance from her. Second performance in the UFC. First one was pretty bad against Stephanie Egger. Good win for her. So sorry for Ashley. No problem.
Fucking real estate agent calls it. Why? Like, why right now? It's 6:00 at night. Like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Fucking idiots, man. Leave me alone. It was like they're just soliciting me, dude. 6:00. I'm fucking chilling, doing my podcast. Get the hell out of here. Sorry, guys. I'm all pumped up.
No problem, dude.
What were you saying about Perez? I didn't hear what you were saying. Do you like her ass?
No, that's not what I was saying. But I mean, she looked really good, and I mean, with fighting wise, she took her down at will. Actually, Evan Smith looked really bad. Gotta say it. And good win for Perez. And I mean, she will have some more OnlyFans subscribers, I think, after this one. So.
For sure. All right. How many times did you watch Aileen Perez's interview? Didn't, because some guy in the Discord linked us to the OnlyFans pictures, so we just looked at that instead. I'm sure you saw it too, Marcel. I mean, listen.
No, I actually haven't.
You really?
I was working, so I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they're leaked. Let's say that they're out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know what to think about this chick. Honestly, like she set the record with 10 takedowns, couldn't finish someone that should have been finished, and she seems to be promoting her OnlyFans a little bit too much, in my opinion. But getting people talking about her, so I guess it's working, right? I guess it's working. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm a father. I wouldn't want pictures like that to be out there. But you know what I mean? If she's got a son. Like, I don't know. That always kind of, I get it. Like, we're all people. And
I always say, like, fatherless activities. But, yeah.
Sexuality is part of being a human being. I get it. But, like, I think when you have, like, young kids, like, I don't know if I'd want those pictures on me on the internet, personally. But it's her choice. So
listen, let's be really clear. If we see it, we all watch it, but to be thinking about it, I'm like, listen, it's the same with this boxing chick who was like flashing her.
Flash the tits? Yeah, I saw that.
Listen, many people are like, oh, that's awesome. Do we really want that? I mean that you got Pornhub.com for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm not really with that, and it doesn't. And you don't have to ask me for I'm gay. No, I'm not gay. But the thing is, like, I don't see why we need this and that in the sport. You know what I mean? If you want to show your ass, your boobs or whatever, you know, you got other places to do it. You know, and ask money for it if you want. If you want to hoe around, do it. I don't care. But I mean, the sport is not really the good place for it. That's my opinion. You can have a different one. And with you, I mean other people, not you specifically. But I mean, that's how I see it. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what that car. I don't know who those girls are. I guess they're all OnlyFans chicks. They were the boxing chicks with the hits. I did see that. What's her name? Chris Camozzi's girlfriend or wife or something. She was on the card. You see her? Okay. She made out with some other chick at the weigh-in. Did you see that?
Oh, that yeah, I see that.
That's Chris Camozzi's wife, I'm pretty sure. Former UFC fighter. I mean, she's an absolute knockout, no doubt about it. Good for Chris, man. Good for Chris. I'll just say that. But again, that's how you're selling your fights. I mean, whatever. People are paying for that, though, right? Just like
imagine,
this guy's saying.
Listen, question.
Yeah.
Maybe if that's your wife or your girlfriend, would you be happy with that?
I mean, I'm single now, but like,
no, that's serious for question.
If my girlfriend was making out with another chick, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset. I mean,
I mean, in front of camera, so everybody.
Yeah,
can
I know
see
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Like, if it was in private, I think it'd be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, but like, yeah,
that's different. That's different.
I love this podcast so much. We're so fucked out here, man. A couple other comments, guys. Yeah, I thought Nam won. These guys all think so too. If Nam won, would have turned $1 to 1,000. Holy shit, that'd be crazy, dude. That would have been an amazing bet. How many times did you watch Perez's interview? I didn't actually only watch it the once, and the memes I think were hilarious. The one where Fabiano's like this. He's like this, Marcel. He's like this. His tongue out. If you look at the picture, it's so funny. Thoughts on McCabe and Azat? I think McCabe probably because the grappling is still really good. If my girl's making out do Ana Pinheiro, I wouldn't hate it. Ana Pinheiro? Yeah, she's with that guy. What's his name? Matias Nicolau, I think.
Would you hate it when it's all over the internet? That's the question.
The thing, right?
It's not the question that you hate it is in your bedroom. I mean, that's different. You know what I mean? That's the question, dude.
Who are these people? Why is this lady messaging me?
I don't know. Maybe she thinks you have a hard dick. I don't know.
I don't understand. I'm like, guys, I'm like eating dinner. I just said I'm eating dinner. It's just dumb. Anyways,
she also was dinner sausage.
Stop texting me and leave me alone. Something weird's going on the UFC website. Patricio Pitbull, and
what the fuck?
Are you serious? Well, maybe they're buying out Bellator then. Maybe they're buying the contracts out. Are you fucking with me or no, dude? Is he fucking with us?
No, I haven't watched it.
Is he fucking with us?
It would be funny as fuck. Let me check.
If they buy out the roster, that'd be fucking amazing. Imagine the UFC swoops in and buys Bellator. I think he's fucking with us.
No, AJ McKee here, UFC.com.
No way. Are you serious? Yeah. What? What the hell? You're joking.
Let me see if I can.
What the?
No, I can't show it.
He is there. It says July 13th it was added. Oh, it's been up there for a few days then. Okay.
July 17, 2023.
Oh, today actually. Yeah, but if you look on Google, it says July 13th. So maybe it was added a few days ago. I'm not sure.
What the fuck?
Is this a mistake? Did they buy out the Bellator roster? This is really fucking weird, right? We know that Bellator is going under, guys. Everyone knows. It's not a secret at this point, right? Like, it's not a secret. Do you think Dana White swooped in and bought the contracts?
Imagine, dude. Yeah, Patricia.
I mean, these are the right guys to get, right? AJ McKee and the Pitbull brothers. That'd be fucking awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pumped. I'm kind of pumped. I'm not gonna lie. Something's up with this, guys. That doesn't make sense. Why are they on the website otherwise?
I have no idea, man. That's crazy. That's a great find, John. I have no idea.
Good call, John. Good call. Didn't know you're single. Yeah, no, I've been. Yeah, it's been a while now, actually. Don't like talking about it publicly. It's not very. It's not fun to talk about. But yeah, I've been by myself for a little bit now. Yeah. Anyways, I think this is good. We'll end the show here. And then we'll start the new podcast. Marcel, do UFC London preview. If that's okay with you. You good with that?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
All right, guys. So we're just gonna end the show right now. Appreciate you guys joining in. We're gonna start another one in just a minute here. We're gonna do UFC London preview, and 15 fights to talk about. So we got there's still a lot to talk about tonight, guys. Let me just quickly go through these comments about PFL and Bellator. I agree with you. I mean, why would they let PFL get these fighters? This is a smart move by the UFC. They have more money, right? They have more money, so it makes sense. Why wouldn't they? Why, exactly, it makes sense. I'm kind of pumped, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because it just when MVP was on there, like, okay, he's gonna be a guest fighter this weekend. It's kind of maybe that's why. But now it's like AJ McKee and the Pitbull brothers, Marcel. Now Marcel is looking at him. He's sleuthing now. He's looking around. I see you. Okay, we don't see you on your phone. We don't see you. All right, guys. We're gonna end the show. We're gonna start a new one in just a minute here. Okay, so just stay tuned for the next link, and we'll talk to you guys in a second. All right, we'll do UFC London. Talk to you.